Welcome back to Love's Teaching Will Travel. I'm your host KJ, and we are back for another episode today, focusing on interview insights. Now, for those of you who are thinking about transitioning out of education, you're thinking about perhaps moving into tech or another field, perhaps even looking further into edtech, right? Or even fintech. There are some things that you can do to help you nail those interviews. Now, as someone who's conducted interviews, obviously I've been in interviews myself as an educator, I have some great tips for you that are going to help you explore, how interview strategies can really help educators transition into new roles, even into new industries. Now, we're going to start by talking about your transition. Now, thinking about transition, are you staying in the sector? Are you moving into a new industry? What does that process look like for you, right? What do interviews in other sectors look like? Now, I've done corporate, I've done remote, startup. I've been interviewed as a freelancer by so many different sectors. I feel like now I'm able to get a grasp on what each industry or what some industries are looking for. Let me take that back. What some industries are looking for, and how I can help you think about some transition interview strategies that you can use yourself as you continue to think about transitioning out of the field of education. Now, fear not. I'm going to equip you with the things that you need, and we're going to start by acknowledging that transitioning careers can be challenging. Let's acknowledge that. I think that's something that people try to not think about or they gloss over it, but I'm going to say it's hard. Let's not kid ourselves. If you are an educator, you've been in the classroom for 5, 10 years, moving into a new sector can be so difficult. I will not gloss over this and make you think that it's going to be easy and you're going to just waltz into the interview, whether it's in person or, remote, and it's going to be the best thing that you've ever experienced. It's going to be difficult and you're going to be asked a lot of difficult questions. Now, the important part is, do you know how to express your transferable skills in order to get that opportunity across? Now, they've seen your resume, you were able to translate that on your resume. How do you translate this in your interview? So, from communication skills to interpersonal skills to problem solving, adaptability, you as an educator are equipped with such diverse skill sets, you can thrive in almost any environment. And that's something that I tell my own students as well. Educators are not going to struggle. We're going to be okay, because whether we stay in education or go elsewhere, there are opportunities that are going to open up for us. So, how can educators effectively communicate these transferable skills during interviews? Let's begin with some self reflection. And here at Love's Teaching Will Travel, we're all about self reflection. So, it's important to get a thorough understanding of how your experiences as an educator can translate into this new industry. Take some time to really identify some of your key accomplishments. Look at some of the challenges that you've overcome and that impact that it's had on your current role. Additionally, you want to consider how your passion for education can be an asset for your new endeavor that you're going into, whether it's, fintech, as I've said before, edtech. How does your passion for education translate over into this new career field? So, it could be your commitment to lifelong learning. It could be fostering growth and development. It could also be a genuine enthusiasm for making a difference. Now, as an educator, that's one of the things that are it's at the top of my list. I want to make a difference. I want to be able to see change. And so in my own classrooms, I don't just educate my teachers and my future teachers to just be able to go out and be educators. I'm encouraging them to be advocates. I'm encouraging them to know how to speak to legislators, how to write letters to legislators, how to go out and support their communities in the most active ways possible. These are transferable skills that they can use anywhere. So it's not just about focusing on what you've done in education. It's also about focusing on that passion and how it sets you apart from other candidates. Now, let's talk about the importance of storytelling in your interviews. This is really, really important, and I want you to listen carefully. As educators, you are natural storytellers. From read alouds to big books, everything that you've done in the classroom, you are a natural storyteller. You're great at engaging your audience and giving some complex ideas in a compelling way. So, as a storyteller, how can you leverage this skill to illustrate who you are, your experiences, the challenges, the successes, and help them to resonate with the interviewer who's going to A, take you seriously, B, be captivated by that story and be engaged by that story? How can you take your skills as a storyteller and transfer them into being able to sit at an interview and tell your story as an educator, who you are as an individual, who you are as an educator, and what that looks like for you in this new role, right? How can you be able to translate what you already know and do into something that's compelling enough to draw this interviewer in and have them want to have you be on their team? That's something that's really important. Remember to tailor your stories, though, to align with the values and the goals of the new organization and industry that you're going to be in. This helps you to demonstrate how your experiences directly relate to their own needs. Also, you'll be able to showcase your value as a candidate and leave such an impression on them, they're going to be begging you to come back. So make sure that as you are intertwining your story of who you are and your passion, make sure you're connecting the dots to this industry, right, that you're going into. Make sure you're connecting the dots into this organization that you're trying to get into, because it will make them feel connected to you. It'll make them feel that you are here, and you are here and you mean business. Like you really want to do this work and you're passionate about it, just as you have been passionate about education. Another crucial aspect is being able to nail the interview transition through preparation. Now, as educators, we are well versed in research. We are well versed in being able to collect information and find all the things that we need. You're going to do the same thing here. Your job is to research the company or the institution that you're interviewing with. Make sure you know who works there. Make sure you know the type of candidates and clients and people that they serve. Make sure that you understand their mission, their vision, their values, right? What are some recent initiatives that they've taken up? And how does this align with something that you can help them to move forward with, right? You want to do your research. Make sure you're gathering as much information as possible and you're tailoring it to your own experiences. This demonstrates a genuine interest in the corporation, the individual who works there. Even better, if you have like a bit of a background on the person who's interviewing you, then it really shows that you care and you want to be a part of this team, right? It allows you to also ask insightful questions. I can't tell you how many interviews I've been on, and the interviewer is surprised by the questions that I'm asking at the end of the interview. When they ask you, do you have any questions? If you show up and you don't have at least 2 to 3 questions for them, you are not the ideal candidate they're looking for. They want someone who's curious. They want someone who's interested in their organization and what they have to offer. If you want them to take you seriously and find you interesting and want to pull you in, you have to do the same on your end. Ask questions, show interest, right? Show that you have some knowledge, show engagement. This requires doing your research and getting background on the institution, the company, organization, the industry, whatever it is, even the interviewer, right? Go to their LinkedIn, like find out as much as you can, because you want to make sure that when you show up to this interview, you are prepared and it shows that you mean business. Now, finally, don't underestimate the power of practice. Utilize mock interviews. I used to talk to myself in the mirror when I had an interview coming up. Talk to friends, right? Talk to family members. Even reach out to your mentor. This is going to help you to refine your responses and also gain some valuable feedback from people who perhaps currently work in this industry, right? Like if you have like a leg up and you know someone who's already in the industry, this is your time to shine. You know, have them do a mock interview with you because they're going to have the most insight, right? It'll help to boost your confidence. And the more you practice, because you know they say practice makes perfect, right? The more you practice articulating your experience, your skills, the more natural and polished it's going to become once you get in front of the interviewer and you're able to tell your story. I hope this has been helpful for you. I really do. It's about mindset. It's about preparation. You have to be strategic in your approach as educators if you want to successfully navigate these new waters. Now, as you go through the interview process in this transition for new roles, make sure that you're reflecting on who you are, reflect on the role that you've done as an educator and reflect on the future, right? Think about what future you will be doing in this new role. There's so many exciting opportunities out there for educators. Whether you decide to continue teaching and you choose to teach abroad or teach remote, or you decide to just make changes altogether and go into a new sector, you have the choice, educators. You have the choice to make the change and do the things that feel right for you, working in the environments that work for you and make you feel good, because it isn't just about continuing to be in a field and feeling beat down and defeated. It's about doing the thing that makes you feel good and doing the things that you're passionate about. And if transitioning is for you, then you do it, right? I'm just here to give you some strategies and support on this journey, and I hope it's been helpful to you. Thank you again for showing up. I'm happy to be here as well. It's been a long road these past couple months, and I'm so happy that we're able to come back and continue doing these episodes. Until next time, bye bye.